Okay, so we're going to jump into Chapter 10. Chapter 10 talks about units of measurement. So there are two different kinds of units of measurement. There's customary units of measurement. That's what we use for length, weight, and capacity. And then there's metric. Metric units are what the rest of the world uses. The United States is actually one of the only places that uses customary units, which is why we're going to start with that first, and then we'll talk about metric. So today, specifically, we are going to talk about customary units of measurement, but specifically talking only about length. There will be other videos for other subtopics. So, what are some things that people measure the length of? Think about what are they measured in? What units do you use when you measure the length of something? Maybe you use inches or miles, yards, feet. Not really sure, right? Maybe one of those several things. We're going to talk a little bit about each of them and how to convert them from one to the other to figure out how many inches are in a certain number of feet. How many feet are in a certain number of miles, stuff like that. So the customary system, specifically today, we're talking about length. So the length is the distance measured between 2 points. So from like point A to point B, the distance between it, whether it's from like your house to school or from one side of your bed to the other side of your bed. It both would be the length of whatever you're measuring because it's between the 2 points. So usually when we are talking about the customary system and length, it's measured in inches, feet, yards, and miles, kind of like we talked about on the last slide. There's a little ruler friend to help us remember that we are measuring the length of some things. So, units of length. These are all of our conversions, kind of. So we have 12 inches equals 1 foot. So in parentheses there is the abbreviation for each inches and foot, and they are equal to each other. So we're going to continue with this just to kind of see all of the different ones. This is something I would suggest you write down, these different conversions as we go through them all, because they will be useful and helpful to you when you have to go back and do some of the practice problems, because you need them in order to do that. 3 feet equals 1 yard. 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. 1,760 yards equal 1 mile. Sorry, that was the last one. So, those 4 conversions will be helpful and useful to you while you do the practices and as we do the next couple problems together. So, write them down, draw a cloud around it or something to help you remember where it's at. So, with that being said, we're going to jump into a couple little practices just so we can get the hang of it before you do one on your own. So, when we are converting lengths, units of length, we are going to use multiplication or division essentially to help us do that. So, 33 yards equals blank feet. So, if we want to know how many feet are in 33 yards, we would follow the following steps. We would have to go back to that units of length in our copybook and see how many feet are in 1 yard. So there are 3 feet in 1 yard, but in this case I have 33 yards. So I have to have 3 feet 33 times. So I take 33 yards and I multiply it by the 3 feet per 1 yard, right? So I have 3 feet, but I have 33 yards. So it'd be 33 times. We take 33 times 3. You might want to pull out a calculator or a multiplication chart. 33 times 3 equals 99 feet. So 33 yards is equal to 99 feet. Our helpful hint from our little ruler friend is if you're going to be converting from a bigger unit of measurement to a smaller unit of measurement, you want to use multiplication. It's always how it's going to be. If you're starting with a bigger unit, like yards are bigger than feet, you are going to use multiplication. If we're going the opposite way, it would be division. So let's try another one. 7 feet equals blank yards. We want to know how many yards are in 7 feet. So we go back to our units of length, probably in a cloud somewhere, and see how many feet are in 1 yard, or how many yards are in 1 foot, whichever, right? So we learned that 3 feet are in 1 yard. So we're going to take those 7 feet, and we have to divide them by 3 feet per yard. So we're doing 7 divided by 3. 7 divided by 3 equals 7/3 of a foot, which would really be the mixed number 2 1/3 feet. So 7 yards equals 2 1/3 feet. It's really like 24, like 29, 30 inches. This time we went from a smaller unit of measurement to a bigger unit of measurement. Feet are smaller than yards. So in this example, we used division to help us figure out what our answer was going to be. So here we have 3 practice ones where, kind of like what we just did, where you're converting using multiplication and division to help you. 33 miles equals, sorry, not 33, 300 miles equals blank yards, and 96 yards equals blank feet, and 48 feet equals blank yards. Again, go back to that units of length slide or wherever you wrote it in your copybook and use that information to help you, because it's the only way you will be able to figure out the conversions. And then at the bottom, there is the compare section where you're going to use the greater than, less than, or equal to sign to compare the 2 measurements on each side of the oval, and then draw your symbol inside the oval. Snap a picture of it when you are done. Send it my way. Let me know if you have any questions. Tomorrow, we will move into a different customary unit of measurement. See you guys.